Hey guys, how's it going? Jared here with Dex and Dice, the ramblings of an LGS owner. It's been a minute, I know, at least like a week or two, I guess. I didn't check when the last one was made, but tis what it is. We've just been busy with MH3. The pre-release was awesome. Thank you for everyone who came out and packed that mofo full. Greatly appreciate it. It was fun. Don't know how else to explain it but that. Everyone seemed to enjoy themselves. Even had a couple of first timers. It was pretty good. Uh, so far, the set overall is amazing. I'll get a little bit more into that into this rambling video. Also, gonna hopefully maybe find a way to spice up the thumbnail or the intro or something. Like, I don't know. I get that everyone's always like, hey man, you need to, spice up the stuff. It's like, yeah, bro, I get it, but I don't have the expertise for that. I don't have the money to pay people for that. Like, me doing what I'm doing to get the the little bit of an intro that I am going to get. I mean, it's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but it's a lot of money compared to just day-to-day impact and all that good shit. But anyways, um dude, I made it like a minute 30 without using a cuss word. I think I'm getting a little better. So, anyways, this is going to be a squirrel rant, considering I've been not doing anything for about 2 weeks. Squirrel is all over the place. I have a handy dandy, I don't want to say plan, but it's a loose bullet point thing that I might skip around on. Um, but anywho, here goes ramblings of an LGS owner. Let's talk about allergies first and foremost. Fuck those. Um, let's talk about something that's kind of, I guess, weird for a small little shop like mine to have, or presence, whatever you want to call it. That would be the Patreon. Now, I did have the Cornerstone membership through the website, for a minute there. Um, I guess the migration to Patreon just was for the consumer aspect of things there. Like the ones of you that went from Cornerstone to Patreon, you guys already knew that it was legitimate and I wasn't just taking your money, blah, 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 blah. But for people who don't venture into the shop a lot or whatever, or just assume that it's not on an established platform, that it was just me trying to swindle money every month, which, I mean, let's be honest, kind of is, kind of isn't. Like, everyone who has a Patreon expects you to, like, get involved a little bit, but industry secret, not so secret, is that we all just kind of want you to do the monthly fee and, never really use the perks. But that's not me knocking it, but it sounds like I am. I'm not. You guys know how I operate. I just throw shit out there, and sometimes the truth is the truth. But for those of you that have joined the Patreon and you do come in and use it, you guys know that it damn well pays for itself. I'll put it that way. And for those of you who are maybe watching a one off video, like, and you live in, I don't know, Missouri or something, currently the Patreon is really geared more towards locals. But the more the Patreon grows, the more I'm going to open it up to, like, outside stuff, like actually shipping product to different states and all that good stuff. So if you're wanting to join a Patreon or you want to support the shop or whatever because you just like the cut of my jib or whatnot, there is a legitimate, like, just a $3 a month option that'll just help you contribute to the shop while you patiently wait for me to garner enough following and extra money and all that good stuff to open it up to shipping items versus just kind of basically what it is right now, which is just helping out the local area. Um, so yeah, and if you do that, that would be phenomenal. Uh, I kind of hate e-begging, but at the same time, if you don't tell people about it, no one knows it exists. So there, that's it for the Patreon. Um, just that I know it's weird, especially for, like I said, a small influence shop like me. I mean, realistically, we have like 115 followers on YouTube. We have a little over 1K on Facebook. So like we're not huge. We're not even big. We're not even like medium. But I wanted to go ahead and start one, get it out there. So it's established, it's been there. For those of you that got in on the ground floor, fingers crossed that everything keeps going the way it is, the shop stays around, blah, 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 that there will be like loyalty rewards and so forth and so forth. So, anyways, huge shout out and thank you. There go those allergies again. To those that have joined the Patreon and support the shop, like, seriously, thank you. Um, I got nothing else but that. Just huge thank you. And for those of you that are on the fence about it, like even if you don't live near us or whatever, we would really just enjoy the support. Um, because I will open up stuff to, ship out things from the shop to different people who aren't local. It's just, baby steps, man. I gotta get the ball rolling before I just jump in there and possibly fuck everything up. you know, I don't want to open up like 900 slots and have, I don't know, 400 like orders to have to do through just Patreon itself and end up, taking on way too much that I myself can do. Um, and I know people are like, "Well, just hire more minions," and I'll get to that later too because that seems to be everyone's solution to everything, which technically it is, but it's not at this current point. But I'll get into that. So yeah, join the Patreon, even if it's only the $3 a month tier. Just sit there and bide your time, and if it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, it will be worth your time, and you can always upgrade tiers to whatever you want to upgrade to. So, moving on. Let's talk about. I guess we'll talk about MH3, Modern Horizons 3, for those of you who don't know what MH3 is. I knew from the get go that this was going to be an amazing set, despite all of the whining, bitching, and crying about the prices and, I swear I don't have big old man titties like that. It's just this shirt's really huge. And, anyways, um, despite people bitching about the price point and everything, it was going to be like a MH2 scenario all over again. I hate this. Bye. And that's just the way it ends up being. Pretty much with almost every set, except for a few hits and misses there. Staring at You, Baldur's Gate, and Murders of Karlov, like, just flops. But mostly, that's just how it goes. People bitch, then people buy. You just gotta kind of ignore the "it's overpriced, I'm not buying" when they're really just gonna go and buy shit. Tinfoil hat, maybe they're bitching that it's too overpriced and they're not going to buy, so you don't go buy, so there's more left for them. Insert your own conspiracy theory here. But I've noticed even on my end that the singles and sealed, they seem to be moving at a fairly even spot. I've noticed, like, I kind of figured that the sealed is slowing down. It's not selling as much, here at the shop or whatever. It's selling online ever so often, like a 2, 3, 4 boxes. I mean, it's selling. I forgot the little chart that I looked at earlier, but sealed is selling. However, none of my boxes are on TCG right now because the box price for a play booster box on TCG is like 230, I think. Uh, Somewhere around there, 230, 235, 229. Anyways, in the 220, 230 mark. And this is my biggest complaint about selling on TCG as far as sealed goes. Fucking race to the bottom, dude. Those boxes run me 215 to 220 to buy a piece. Why the fuck would I want to sell it on TCG for 230 a box? And after fees, which is roughly, depending on what channel it sells on, if it sells through Marketplace or the direct website, you're looking at an average of 10 to 13% or whatever off of that 230 mark. I'm losing money by selling the fucking boxes at that. Now, maybe the bigger shops or whatever that can buy like 80 cases of something, maybe they get it down to like 210 a box or some shit, so they're churning a profit for selling at what they're selling. But for dumbasses in my position, no. So that's why my boxes are staying what they're staying at in the shop. If you don't want to pay the prices, that's fine. I understand. It's Decks and Dice. It's not TCG. It's not Race to the Bottom. I have overhead. I have other things to pay for. It's an instant gratification thing. You're buying it right then and there. You're walking out the door with it. You're cracking it. You're experiencing it right then and there. Convenience tax, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm just not selling my shit at that big of a loss. Sorry, not sorry. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. There's a I don't know. I don't also want to call it FOMO, but maybe that's kind of what we're experiencing as well as far as some of the sealed sales go, where it's a badass set, everyone likes it, or 80% of the people like it. There's good cards in there. So now that they've been on the I'm not buying stuff train, and they see everyone else buying it and getting good pulls, getting good cards, and being able to like just enjoy the product, now they're kind of like, well, maybe I should have, and just going in while they can and buying it. FOMO always plays a little bit of a part in all sales, doesn't matter what the fuck it is. But I think in this particular one, since it's a premium set, it might be a little more than usual, especially with like collector boxes, because WotC has toned down the print run of those dramatically. So the collector boxes are actually collectible, and it's about damn time. But anyways, that's my little theory on that one. With every fucking set, you've always got everyone that is going to say, I'm not going to buy it, it's too overpriced, and then they'll just go out and buy it anyways. I don't understand that. It is what it is. It's just human nature, I suppose, but ignore pretty much all the fucking market noise you see about that and do what you want to do. Even if you're listening to this video and I'm not even trying to, persuade anyone to do anything really, aside from just do what the hell you want to do. Like, I can explain until I'm blue in the face that, XYZ is why you should or shouldn't buy something. Ultimately, it's up to you. You guys decide it. The market decides it. I just offer product and see what the fuck happens. So, yeah. It's just one of those things. And a lot of people, this kind of a little side rant here, when they want to start up a card shop or even like flipping singles on TCG or whatever, a lot of people don't understand the unique volatility of the hobby world, especially when it comes to TCGs. Just because it's made doesn't mean there's a demand for it. It doesn't mean that it's going to sell. And there are certain sets, again, looking at you, Baldur's Gate at launch, now it's kind of popular, but it happens anyways, and Karloff Manor. There are certain releases, doesn't matter what game it is, honestly, like it could be Yu-Gi-Oh, it could be one, it'll end up being One Piece, Fab, all that good stuff. Like, every card game has these shit sets that they pull out that no one wants to buy. And if you're not careful and you just go balls deep into everything that comes out, especially starting out, I'm not talking about established mofos that have like 60K in credit limits and all that good stuff, because, yeah, you sell enough, you'll get your money back, blah, blah, blah. But just starting out, that shit will wreck you. Like, it will. And I know that's I don't know, a spot of contention, maybe. That's probably the wrong word, but I'm going to use it anyways. between like me and some of the minions maybe and the customers, because like, oh man, why don't you have 18 cases put up in the back? Because they're not guaranteed to sell. And even if it's a fire set and I buy 20 cases of something, it's not guaranteed all 20 cases are going to sell. Like, it's just not. Even if I put it online, it's not guaranteed to sell. So yeah, it might be a fire set, and someone might tell me to buy 20 cases, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy 12. And if I miss out on restocks because I didn't buy 20, then so be it. But I also didn't overextend myself to where it could have potentially fucked me. Like, there's nothing worse than dead product. There's not. Again, especially starting out. Sitting on shit, waiting for it to age like fine wine is a luxury that not a lot of people have. And it's weird to see people try to do that and try to be like the next Rudy or whatever. And I'm not going to go down that road. I'm a patron of Willie. Hey, Willie, how's it going? Jesus. Of Rudy. And, you know, I talk to him ever so often via messages and everything. And, like, he's a whole other scenario entirely. So, long story short on that one, which if you guys want me to, I will make a separate video on just that general mindset. But long story short, you're never going to be a Rudy. You're not. He's a fucking unicorn. So if that's your plan with buying sealed and sitting on it for years upon years, don't. Buy it, flip it, make your fucking money back, and move on to the next. Because, like I said, the man's a unicorn. You're not going to do what he does. But back to the volatility of the stuff, like the sets and all that, like I said, not guaranteed to sell. You're not guaranteed to make your money back on everything, and just starting out, that can make or break a shop most times, unless you're an AstroTurf shop where like you have another company supporting you, and there's all sorts of shit that happens with that too. I'll talk about that too if you guys want me to. But most importantly, it's a unique volatility that this industry pretty much only has. And by this industry, I don't just mean like TCGs. I mean like baseball cards, you know, all sorts of shit like that. Like, starting out and even midways through, a shit set will wreck you, and sometimes you don't bounce back from that. Which is part of the reason why a lot of LGSs don't even make it to year 2. It is what it is. So, you know, like, I guess I'm not going to continue talking about that. You got the general idea there. The other thing that I want to kind of talk about too, and again, I'm shoving all this shit into one video, so this is going to be pretty fucking long. It's just like catch up, you know, hey, how's it going? Been a minute. There's been some talk about me in general, I guess, is that, you know, I don't play Magic anymore, which I really don't. I did at the onset because it was slow, you know, it wasn't as big as, at the shop wasn't as big as it is, and so forth and so forth. But not only is it I'm busy, I'm at work, you know, I have better things to do than sit and play a game. Like, that hour I could have spent scanning in cards, packing up orders, wiping down a counter, restocking something, etc., etc. And as I said in another video too, like, I honestly just, there's better shit for me to do, and I don't really enjoy it anymore. And I know that's shit for a card shop owner to say, and I don't think a lot of people would be 100% honest with their clientele about that either. Be like, yeah, man, this was great, but I gotta go do this, man. I really want to play, but I gotta go do this. You know, no, bullshit. you've reached the point like I've reached where you still have a huge respect for the game, you have a huge respect for the community, but playing the game itself is a almost total waste of time when you're on the clock, I guess, or when you're at your own shop, whatever the hell you want to call it. Not only that, but at least with Magic, things have gotten so overly complicated that I watch people play games and all I see is 36 counters on one thing, 19 1-1s and 96 triggers here and 14 over there. And no. Like, dude, just no. I don't see how the hell anyone actually puts up with it, honestly, but that's just me. But I also have the mindset of back in the 90s, with playing the game where it wasn't that overly complicated. Still complicated, but nothing quite like it is now. Like, oh, I attacked, mill half your deck, I create 19 treasure tokens. Tokens came in. There's 4 cards on the board that'll do 1 damage each when artifacts come in. There's also going to be something that poops out +1/+1 counters now because there was damage dealt. Oh, and at the end of my turn, damage was dealt, so everyone else loses more damage and I get more tokens. Like, Jesus Christ, man. I just fucking blows my mind. I guess I'm getting too old to keep up with it like that, but, it's it's not just that I'm at work and I have better shit to do. It's just playing the game currently as is with all the power creep and all that shit is not fun to me at all. I don't want to sit down, and I keep saying this over and over again, but I don't want to sit down and land pass and then there's a 15-minute turn directly after mine because for some reason the dude just can't land pass or whatever when he's sitting there shuffling through the same 3 cards and looking at the board, shuffling the same 3 cards, looking at the board when he's got nothing and then just stalls, or he legitimately has plays to do, but everything they do causes another thing, and then that thing causes another thing, and then that thing causes another thing, and then that thing causes another thing, and then when they go to end the turn, ending the turn itself causes 5 other fucking interactions. No. Like, just no, man. Like, I can't, and I know a lot of you feel kind of the same way, so that's pretty much why I feel comfortable saying this, but dude, there's other shit to do, and I get that there are ways to handle this, and there are more ways to like interact with the community as well. Like, I don't just have to play the game to interact with the community. I can watch you guys play. I can talk to you kind of about stuff that's going on because, I do have like a 20-year gap in my Magic knowledge. So, but just engaging with you guys is a way that I can engage with the game itself. The market financial aspect of things is like not necessarily my bread and butter, but it's what I'm way more interested in than playing the damn game anymore. So I can talk to you guys about that all fucking day long. Just because like I don't play the game doesn't mean I can't be engaged with the community itself. I know that's kind of a weird concept for some of you guys to grasp, but like just because I don't know, just it's one of those things like just because I don't understand doesn't mean I don't care or something like that. I forget what that phrase is, but anyways, that's my way of, or my take on why I don't play anymore, like as detailed as I can squirrel brain get. There's also something that I've been noticing about power levels of decks and people complaining about power levels, especially since the shop has gotten more established. The player base itself has gotten better. We've drawn in some veterans from other places that know what the hell they're doing. So, like, they play differently, I guess. Different's a bad word, but I guess more. I don't even want to say more competitively, but like better, just because they're on the triggers and they understand the stack better, etc., etc. But when it comes down to, especially with Commander, because that's mainly what gets played anywhere, so Commander is it. If you have an issue with someone and their deck's power level, or just maybe their play style in general, and that's kind of sad to say, but I'll follow along in this thought pattern here. It seems like a dick move, but if you just simply refuse to play against them, they'll figure it the fuck out. Be like, well, why doesn't anyone want to play with me? It's because you play fuck shit. That's why. We're not playing for 10K, a trip to Dubai, and a like $9,000 Walmart gift card or anything. It's literally just coming to a shop, playing casually for fucking fun. Why do you feel the need to like min max every little bit of it when there's no real fucking reason to do it? I That's kind of something that always like boggled me. I understand if there is a lot on the line, but like even with this month's like Commander League, yeah, I'm splitting a box of MH3 in between like top 4. And yeah, okay, so like expensive-ish, but not really. I personally don't see the need to like try hard like that, but that's also just me. I've never been competitive. I've always been pretty much, I don't know, my self confidence and all that good stuff has always been pretty good. So I have no desire to prove myself to anyone or anything. So, anyways, damn, I went on a tangent there, didn't I? But anyways, like to fix the problem as a community, as far as like toxic players, if you want to call them that, or tryhards or whatever, just don't fucking play with them. Like for real. There has to be a limit, and as a shop owner, I can't necessarily institute that, because if I do that, there's a laundry list of you can't play this commander, this, and hiccup, sorry. And like everyone already thinks we have a huge list like that. We don't. The only thing with Commander League is, no instant win cons, and you can't pop off your infinite fucking win condition until after turn 5. That's really it. We ask that your power level be like, an 8 or lower. And yes, an 8 can be an 8.5, almost pushing a 9, and still be good for a Commander League. It's the only way that people are gonna get good is if they play against harder people. And I know that that's kind of like contradicting itself with, if you don't want to play with this tryhard, then don't. But there's a balance that you have to do in order to just get better as a player. Um, then like once you experience playing harder decks, better people, and everything, you get better as a player. Now back to the community itself figuring out what is allowed and what isn't. You don't know unless someone pulls out some dumb shit, and that's the best way to figure it out. You don't know the person's play style until they pull out their deck and you go through the motions with them. And if like it's just something they continuously play over and over again, like it's the only thing they fucking play, then you guys as a community need to show them that, yeah, okay, good for you, but everyone else hates that shit, so we're not going to play with you. Please figure out something else to fucking play. And if you basically just do the same thing in different colors or whatever, eventually we're not going to play with you when you're doing that. And as that goes on and on and on, as I like to say, the flowers arrange themselves. So you'll eventually get to a community that everyone kind of enjoys playing against. And anyways, hopefully you guys get my point on that one, is that as a LGS owner, I can't crack the whip and just make shit happen. As far as tryhards and this deck sucks to play against, this dude sucks to play against because all they ever do is play like, I don't know, stacks, for instance. Just throwing that one out there because it's the first thing that came to mind. Then don't play with them. Don't play with them, or target their asses so hard whenever you guys play that they just get pissed off and like leave or something. I don't know. You guys can cull your own weeds, and sometimes you need to, because I don't know. You guys are grown ass people. You can solve your own problems sometimes. And if there ends up being a huge fucking problem, then yeah, I will step in and we can hash shit out for better or worse, I suppose. But, anyways, that's all I got to say on that particular aspect of things. And again, this is going to be a long ass rambling video because I'm trying to catch up with some other shit that like went in my head for, videos. But I want to press on now with the squirrel and talk about like TCG, selling on TCG, being a seller on TCG, all that good shit. And I'm not gonna like do a lot of bitching about that one, or ranting actually, because those of you that sell on it, you probably already know. But let me just go ahead and say that this first topic is not going to be good for the consumer aspect, but here we go. I think, personally, that all shops that sell on TCG Player should have a floor price of no less than 25 cents a card. And I just heard all of you say, go fuck yourself, Jared. But look at it from our perspective. Like, you guys aren't the ones that buy the product. You guys aren't the ones that have to sort the product. You guys aren't the ones that have to list the product. You guys aren't the ones that have to pack the product up. And you guys aren't the ones that have to deliver the product to the post office, or, even just handle it and put it in spots to hand off to the UPS guy or whatever when they come to the shop to pick it up. Like, there's a lot of hidden shit in between the card just magically showing up on TCG, that a lot of people, I think you guys understand but don't quite grasp. Like selling a card for 15 cents, like why the fuck would you sell a card for 15 cents when you wasted your time to do all that? It makes no sense. So like, I think every card shop should have a floor of 25 cents. So that way it's worth your time and effort to actually maybe pack up a 25-cent order, because the card technically might only be worth 15 cents, but you're actually making something for your time and effort, aside from, oh, well, here's 15 cents. Yay, I lost money because of fees. And a lot of shops' answers to that is to just go direct and, still sell cards and shit for fucking 10 cents a piece or whatever. While I understand that, because at least with direct, you get, I think it's like every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or I can't remember. It's 3 times a week. Anyways, you get a list from them for what they sold, and then you just replenish what they sold. And yeah, you're not wasting your time, for the week packing out like 10-cent card orders or whatever. But even if you get 100, 200 cards from TCG Direct and their little invoice they send you for 10-cent cards, you're still kind of spending the time, effort, and all that good shit to pick out the 200 cards, mail off the 200 cards, and hope to churn a profit off of doing that, So, like, again, I think that every shop on TCG, sorry, again, allergies, should have a floor price of 25 cents. I mean, that's just me. I kind of do that anyways. So, it is what it is. I gotta make stuff worth my time and effort, the minions' time and effort. You know, like you guys. As far as like when I say you guys, I mean like not me or minions or whatever. You guys wouldn't work for fucking 10 cents. Why should we work for 10 cents? It makes no sense. That was a lot of sense in one sentence. But anyways, so that's just my take on that one. Um, Also, another thing that everyone should do, and it seems weird, but bear with me here. If you start selling on TCG or you currently sell on TCG, I know they don't tell you to put tracking on anything that's like $20, or they don't want you to put tracking on anything. Blah. Orders 20 and up, they ask for tracking. Now, anything that's 15 to 20, put tracking on that shit. Just trust me, put tracking on that shit. Take the $2, $3 loss, whatever it might be, on selling the card, because there's probably a 75% chance you're going to lose that $15 to $20 because you're going to get, my card never showed up. Because most cards that never show up are between that 15 to 20 mark. And there are douche nuggets out there that know that shops won't put tracking on anything under 20 bucks. So they go through, they buy, you know, $15 to $19 worth of shit, and then, oh, it never showed up. And they get their fucking money back, and they just keep doing that and doing that. It's like, dude, I know what the fuck you guys are doing. We all know what the fuck you're doing. So put tracking on it. Put tracking on 15, 16, 17, 18, $19 orders. Do it. Because I've been doing that lately, and I have seen a huge, huge drop in I lost my $18 order. So yeah, you might take a $3, $4 loss or whatever, but it's way better than taking the full minimum $15 loss. So, you know, tit for tat, I guess. I mean, that's probably wrong, but anyways, just do it. Save yourself a headache and do it. Also, what I've been doing with people like that, regardless of if it's true or not, and every shop needs to be doing this too, just how every shop will, like people who have a big enough Patreon or whatever, will pass around names that they need to automatically block and blah, blah, blah. Shops need to start not only just blocking these people, but escalating the thread to TCG themselves and be like, hey, you know, I know that there's a possibility this did get lost or whatever, but I'm just letting you know that this person, and this sounds really terrible, like even when I hear it in my head, but basically be like, hey, this person said that it got lost. I'm just reporting it because I don't know if there's a history of this person doing this or whatever, so I'm just saying, hey, maybe check out this person's, purchase history, see how many refunds they've gotten in this price range, blah, 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 and, they may be scamming, they may not. Do with this information what you will, kind of thing. I think if enough shops did that and blocked these people, that TCG would, be cleaned up enough to where shops wouldn't lose the money on those $15 to $19 orders. So, like, that's just something that I do. I don't think everyone else is going to do it, but I think it's a practice that more people need to adopt. And I understand that everyone would be like, well, it takes time. Yes, it takes time, but it takes a minute. And I get that if you have 200 orders in a day, you're not going to have 200 instances where you'll need to do this. Sure, you might have 20 or 30, maybe. I mean, I don't think it's that rampant, but even then, for a little while, at least set aside, we'll say 30 minutes of your day to do that, just to clean up TCG so it makes it a better experience for everyone. So you'll experience less of this, I'll experience less, the next person will experience less, and so forth and so forth. So, again, I just hope that's something that people start doing because I do it, and, it is what it is. Let's move on to. That's only noon. Okay, cool. I got a call. I got to be on it too, so I got some time. Um, I'll touch on the future of Dungeons and Dragons here at the shop. With the launch of this new edition and everything, I don't really know how much I'm going to go hardcore into it because I also don't know how hardcore people are going to want to be into physical books anymore with D&D Beyond and all that. Like, it's almost to the point to where I don't want to carry any physical books at the shop anymore because they really just don't move. I know that some of that has to do with the new edition launching sometime this year. I forget when. But also even prior to, like, before anyone knew that the new edition was launching, the books hardly ever moved. Like, you might have someone come in and buy one or two books or whatever, but for the most part, people use D&D Beyond, and that's just the bread and butter for it. So I think I'm going to drastically cut down on the books that I get. Like, I think I might only get maybe 2 books, instead of the, like, 4 that I've been trying to get per release. And that goes for any other tabletop RPG too. Like, shit's cool to see on the shelf. It fills holes, but it's dead inventory most of the time. And as you all know, I hate dead inventory. So, like, don't be surprised if you come into the shop in the next, like, 3 or 4 months and that whole RPG section is a lot smaller. You just gotta adapt, and sometimes cutting shit is the way you adapt. So just wanted to throw that one out there. Yes, for those of you that do buy your new releases from me religiously, yes, I will still get you your copy. But as far as extra copies, slim to none. Just want to say that one. What else was in my head? Oh, had a couple of calls over the past, like, week or two, maybe 3, with people wanting me to buy their bulk. This is possibly a touchy subject, but bear with me here. Because you can tell over the phone when someone's, like, offended or, like, nah, that's not worth it. But, like, bulk in general, without getting too detailed about it and all that, is on average like 6K per thousand, and that's just like your standard bulk. Like, yeah, if you bring in nothing but rares, mythics, foils, all that good shit, it varies, but typically it's just 6K per 1,000 for Magic, and, like, I think Yu-Gi-Oh is like 5 per 1,000. Like, it's different, but that's actually not terrible with industry standards. It's not. And bear with me on this when I say this, but if you're looking to offload bulk, you're looking to just get rid of your shit. And I mean that as in, like, a general, this is shit that you have gone through. It's penny, nickel, 10-cent cards. You don't want it anymore. It's cluttering up your house, so, like, you're trying to essentially offload your garbage onto a shop that's willing to take said garbage, but you don't want me to pay you six bucks per 1,000 for some shit that you don't want. And obviously, you've probably tried to offload it yourself and no one wanted it, and you're coming to me to try to sell it, and I'm like, yeah, $6 per 1,000 because it's your garbage. You probably haven't sorted it. I'm gonna have to sort it, I'm gonna have to see if there's actually anything decent in there. That, like, I don't know, maybe you missed some lightning bolts or some shit, while you were cherry picking your stuff before you gave it to me. So like, I get that $6 per thousand sounds like what the fuck, but all things considered, dude, you're trying to offload your garbage that you don't want anymore, and I'm willing to pay you for said garbage. Just because TCG says that some random card you pick out over there is worth 30 cents, it's not what you're gonna get for it by trying to sell it any fucking where. Unless you do it your damn self. You go through, you tally up all your bulk there, and you try to sell it yourself on like Facebook Marketplace or whatever. And when it comes down to doing that, 85% of you aren't going to want to put the time, effort, work, all that shit into doing that. So the next time you call anywhere, honestly, to get rid of your garbage, and they tell you, hell, even if they tell you like 8 per thousand or whatever for just your standard issued bulk, don't act like they just beat you in the face. They're going to pay you for your garbage that you don't want anymore, that you're obviously trying to get rid of. And if you want it gone as quick and as clean as possible, then just take the offer. Like, what are you really going to lose? You're getting rid of your garbage, you're freeing up space in your house, closet, wherever the hell it was, for more garbage, potentially. And you're getting something for your garbage. So, come on, guys, like, work with us. And honestly, I think I'm the only shop locally-ish that really gives a shit about bulk. Like, for real. And that's only because I have something that I'm working on that in maybe another 6-7 months might actually end up paying off for me doing it. But, for that to happen, I just need a steady supply of bulk and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, it's really not that terrible when I say $6 per thousand. Again, it's your garbage. You've probably gone through it, cherry picked it, all that shit. You don't want it. And if you're going to like scoff at $6, then keep it, like, try to offload it somewhere else, let it keep gathering dust, whatever the hell it's doing. But if you just want to get the fuck rid of it, get it away from you, be done with it, it is what it is. The prices are what they are. So, yeah, I think that's about it, honestly. Fucking 48-minute video, shit. This will probably be something that gets played in the background, which is fine. That's, a view is a view is a view, so, it is what it is. It's like hate watching someone. Like, they don't give a shit you're hate watching. It's a view. It's a click. It's interactions. You're giving them ad revenue. Like, I don't understand the whole hate watch thing. Or even commenting on people's shit that you hate. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, that's a whole other fucking story too. But yeah, and I guess that's really about it. I don't have anything else. I mean, really, I don't. There's a small possibility. I guess I should go ahead and throw this one out there. And don't read too deep into this, by the way. It's just something I'm looking into, so it's not anything serious. Like, the way shit keeps going as far as, rent keeps going up, utilities keep going up, blah, blah, blah. Even prices for distros keep going up. There's a chance that I might be looking for, like, a smaller location or whatever. So, that's a thing. The overhead is a lot here compared to what actually goes out. I don't have an awesome fucking setup. Like, I don't even like using this word, but like how my like direct competition has. So I'm trying to find ways to save money to keep being around. Again, I'm not saying read too much into this. I'm just looking. Um, so, you know, it is what it is. If it happens to be a thing, I'll let you guys know. But currently, no real plans to do it. I'm just looking, curious to see what the hell is out there. So, as it turns, blah, 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 as it stands, I'm good where I'm at. It's perfectly doable where I'm at, but saving $100, $200 a month wouldn't be the worst thing either. I might lose some square footage or whatever, but like ultimately, if I can keep things going, I may sacrifice some space to keep things going. Again, if shit pans out that way, I don't think it really is because, again, it's pretty good where I'm at. Everything's good, no worries. It's just me trying to find ways to, I don't know, future proof shit, Like, I don't like living where my income, like monthly take is this and my expenses are right here. Like, I don't like living like that. That leaves no room for any kind of fuckery to happen. So, it's mainly just a safeguard for the shop itself. Strategic retreat, maybe, if you want to call it that. But again, it doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon or at all. I'm just looking, so, don't even read too much into that. But, anyways, I'm done rambling. Sorry this took so fucking long, guys. If you made it to the end, you're a fucking phenomenal person. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. The link will be in the um, comment section. Jesus words. Uh, so yeah, I guess that's really all I got. As you guys know, I'll see you around the shop, and life's not a dick. You don't have to take it so hard. Have a good one.